Well, ironically, back in 1855, when folks came into the bank, they were only required to deposit $1. So that's how Dollar Bank came to get its name. But however, when you think about the value of $1.
This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black entrepreneurship, politics, news, and events in Hampton Roads and beyond.
When I say black, y'all say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street. When I say black, y'all say Wall Street. Black.
Things are looking up. You'll start to see tons of new branches opening up. We do specialize also in the technology side of business. We have tons of great things that we offer through our cash analyzer for small business.
I definitely want to kind of really hone in on what it is that you do for small businesses. So I had an opportunity to read a little bit about the small business initiative. Can you share that with those that are listening? I think it might be unprecedented. And so I want to make sure we kind of get a full overview of that program.
Well, considering, and this is a program that the bank developed prior to the coronavirus. So I think this is just going to complement the situation. It will certainly help folks that are in a current financial crisis based on your business, how the coronavirus and the epidemic may be affecting your business. But this is a phenomenal incentive. It's got typically the bank would require 3 years of tax returns. So we've lessened that to 2 years tax returns. We're willing to look at current P&L to see exactly where you stand year to date and current with your business. And we also take in consideration what your line of business and also your clients, your clientele, your client base, any contracts or sales agreements that you may have with different businesses as well. And keep in mind too, I know sometimes people don't realize, small business folks don't realize they're so anxious to build credit for their business. But for the first, and depending on the type of business that you are, your credit is ultimately going to affect any credit that you establish for your business as well. So banks and creditors are going to also keep that in mind, your credit worthiness, as when you go to build credit worthiness for your business.
Okay. I think I saw there that this particular initiative does not have a minimum. Is that right? So if I need to borrow $500 or $1,000, I can apply for something as small as that. Is that right?
Absolutely. Typically in small business and in my business bank world, we've had a minimum of $10,000 for loans. But we've eliminated that minimum for this particular initiative. So that's, depending on your needs, we want to be able to meet your needs. So we have eliminated the minimum. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Robin, this is George here. So my experience with Dollar Bank is the first time I saw Dollar Bank, it was a branch on Independence Boulevard in Virginia Beach. Okay. And immediately I think there was the correlation between Dollar Tree and Dollar Bank. So I'm thinking of a discounted institution in terms of maybe I only need $1 down to open a checking account or $1 down to, that sort of mentality is what took over. So can you broaden that thinking that I may have, or is there any truth to that concept in my head?
Well, ironically, back in 1855, when folks came into the bank, they were only required to deposit $1. So that's how Dollar Bank came to get its name. But however, when you think about the value of $1 back in 1855, it's probably equivalent to maybe $500 now.
Right.
But I know a lot of people have thought, because of the Dollar Trees, the Dollar Generals, we were the first institution to incorporate the word dollar in our name. So we do take pride on that. But I will say we are definitely a blue collar bank, if you were to label us. my previous bank life, when I left Union Bank, they were not entertaining businesses. They did not want to do banking with businesses whose revenue was less than $5 million. That's my arena. I'm glad to do business with those folks, because those are the people that are truly living in our communities. Those are our neighbors. Those are the ones supporting our communities and ultimately the brick and mortar of our communities. So, if you want to call us a blue collar bank or a dollar bank, depending on, right. So there's a little insight for you.
Gotcha. So, what took you guys so long to get to Virginia? Why did I just only see you in the last year or two pop up around town?
Right. Going on 3 years. Because of our mutuality, we had to acquire a mutual presence in the area. You just can't move a mutual bank from state to state. Ironically, Bank Atlantic was a very small mutual bank in Hampton Roads and Virginia Beach, ironically.
Right.
So
I remember
Dollar Bank, Jim McQuaid came to Virginia, made them an offer, and we acquired Atlantic Bank. So that gave us the presence that we needed for Virginia.
Okay. For some of our audience that don't know, are not familiar with the term of mutuality, can you elaborate a little bit more on that term?
Absolutely. A mutual bank simply means that we are mutually owned by you, the client, and me, the employee.
Mm-hmm.
We have no stockholders, no shareholders that are dictating rates, fixated on stock prices. We support ourselves. We support our employees, and we support our most importantly, our clients. So that's the difference.
Maybe that's where they got the term Mass Mutual. I don't know.
Well, Mass Mutual, ironically, is one of the largest insurance companies in the country.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to put it all together. Mutuality, mutual. Yeah, I'm just trying to make something work like Jenga. Blair, ask some questions.
I just wanted to check in and see potentially if Joey had joined. Joey, are you there? If you're there, can you type into the chat? It looks like there's a question here from Anne Marie. So she wanted to know about some of the small business initiatives, which I think we spoke about that.
Right.
She also asked, does the bank have a niche that they specialize in? I heard you mention technology. Can you elaborate?
Sure. Small business. So most banks will charge their businesses for the business online banking. We do not charge for the business online banking. It's the cash analyzer. Now, there are certain services that would require some pricing. However, for the most part, our basic business online banking is absolutely free. There's no minimum balance requirement in any of our business accounts, and you get the free bill pay. We also have the free mobile app. So a lot of our clients, especially our smaller businesses that maybe do not have the capabilities of getting to a dollar bank office, because we are a little bit limited in the area as far as branches, but folks can also just simply take a picture of their check and make that deposit.
So what are some of the things that a small business would need to bring in? I know if I wanted to get a loan from my banking institution, there's a few different items that I need to bring in to maybe give some credence to my necessity for a loan. Or what are some of the basic documents or things that you all would need to see to be able to move forward in the loan?
Well, first and foremost, although we are a mutual bank and we have different qualifications, we still have to stay compliant within the federal government as far as the CIP, the Customer Identification Program. So we still would require the valid driver's license, passport, military ID in order to get the account open. We would require the operating agreement, articles of incorporation,
right?
Your tax letter from the IRS that verifies your tax identification number.
Okay.
those few basic items, just something that identifies you personally as the owner of the company or the president of the company.
Okay.
And something that identifies the business.
Cool. Because there was a time where I needed to present a business plan. I remember that when I needed to get a loan from my banking institution. So that's pretty cool that you guys kind of cut through a lot of that.
Sure. Yeah.
Neat.
I'm going to jump in here. We got 3 or 4 more questions that have popped up, and thank you guys for engaging with the poll as well. Looks like 9 of you have already responded. If you would continue just responding to these poll questions, so we'll talk through some of these as well. So one of the things that we did recently, and I think I may have shared this with you, Robin, is we kind of polled inside our membership group just to ask, who folks were doing their business banking with. And we found that most of the people in our group that responded to the survey were banking with Navy Federal. So kind of no coincidence there. We're a big Navy town, right?
Sure.
And then there was not really any rhyme or reason to the other responses. People were just kind of all over the board with who they were doing their business banking with. And when I talked with James, he said, it's probably the case that most people are doing their business banking wherever they're doing their personal banking. And so it looks like 60% of the people here that have responded so far, 6 of 10, have said yes, it was easier to open their business banking wherever they were already doing their personal banking. 3 have said that they actually did some research. 2 have said they really didn't know that banks offered anything different. So from one bank to the next, that there could be any differentiation in, I guess, small business services.
Sure.
Then looking here in terms of how long they've had business banking accounts open, that varies widely from less than 6 months to more than 10 years. We also posed the question, how often do you converse with your banker? Just about half the respondents say they don't know their banker at all.
Yeah, that's not shocking.
That's common, right? Once or twice per year. One person says once per quarter. Few people say they know their banker, but they haven't actually, or that they don't actually meet with them.
Right.
Half of the people say they don't actually know what it is a banker does. And so I think that's important. All of us here, everybody here owns a small business, right? But half of the folks say they don't know what a banker does. Maybe you can give some clarification around that, and why is it important to build out a banking relationship?
Sure. Well, ultimately, and I mean, this has been my passion. I've been in banking in the Hampton Roads area. This is going on my 30th year. But, I've always kind of valued my clients and my relationship with my clients. I mean, this is the 3rd institution that I've worked for during my banking career. But at Dollar Bank, you get a personal banker. You get a business banker that is going to follow up. I made over 100 calls over the past 2 days, touching base with every one of my clients, every single one of my clients, letting them know, we're here for you. Yes, we're working remotely. If you need money, if you need anything, call me directly. My phone has been blowing up this week because of the financial crisis and the last Sunday, the news alert that broke through at dinner time about the prime rate dropping to nearly 0. So that's a true business banker is going to have that relationship with their business. They're going to, I'm super passionate about meeting with my small business owners and learning about their business and how I can truly help them grow their business. That's personally my passion and my drive. I don't know I can't speak about this of bashing other banks, but I can tell you that I hear that a lot, that people don't know their banker. Some banks don't really reach out to their business clients. They're there to answer calls in the event their business owner may call in for something or have a need. Right. At Dollar Bank, we want to help our clients be prepared for the unexpected. We want to be there to help them grow a profit sharing for their employees. We've got tons of additional products and services. We have a group banking program. Every one of our business owners, any of their employees, our contribution by enhancing their benefit package for our group banking any and all their employees are eligible for free banking with Dollar Bank. And we give them right now, the promotion is up to $400 just for having their bank account with us. So we like to think it's our people that ultimately separates us. And because we're very relationship driven, you're going to hear from your banker when you bank at Dollar Bank.
And again, the banker does what exactly?
Well, I touch base. I follow, businesses have a circle. We've got the ones that are starting out. We've got the ones that are well established that might be looking at expansion. We've got folks that need inventory. We follow up from time to time. I call it financial wellness. Some people call it a financial checkup. We revisit based on your needs and how often you want to hear from me. Now, I do have some business owners that say, oh, everything's great. I'll let you know if I need anything. Sure, that's fine. Whatever your preference is, we just want to help you be prepared for the unexpected. We want to help you streamline your cash flow and ultimately grow profits for your business. So if we've got something that's coming up or a new promotion or a new way to do banking, the online banking and the technology has it's growing faster than any of us can imagine. And that also is on the business side as well for technology for business banking. Absolutely.
Okay.
Super cool. Want to ask some of the questions that we have on here, George?
Yeah, sure.
Some in the chat and some in the Q&A.
Right. So I'm just going to jump on to some that I see right here in the chat. Maybe you can follow up on the Q&A side. Does your bank integrate with QuickBooks Self-Employed?
Yes, we do.
Okay. All right. Moving on to that one. Simple. What about, so Carl Sherwood asks, what about business lines of credit? Not necessarily business loans. And maybe you can break that and so our audience
absolutely
difference.
Well, that goes into helping our clients be prepared for the unexpected. They may not have an immediate loan need, but when I go out and make my recommendations and learn about you and your business and what needs you may have down the road, I always recommend businesses have that line of credit open and readily available in the event something does come up.
Okay.
And we do have the line of credits. We've got, we just launched our Business Loan Express model, which is you can opt for a line of credit or a loan. The glory of the Express model is it's loans or lines of credit up to $100,000 that can fund to a business bank account at Dollar Bank within 24 to 48 hours.
Okay. So this is a concern of mine and probably many of our other followers and those participating in the chat today. In recent light of, the impact of Corona and the COVID-19 virus, what initiatives do you see coming down the pipeline that maybe other small businesses may want to take advantage of? Or, I know we talked about the 0% on the interest rate. Some people thought their mortgage interest rate went down to 0%, so they were misled or they had a misunderstanding. But let's dive into that, for a moment, as far as how is this going to impact, the banking institutions and small business.
Sure. Well, fortunately enough, the Small Business Administration has really kicked up their game.
When the conversation is good and the friends are even better, you'll find a wine that brings it all together. Shoe Crazy Wine. Remember that name. Shoe Crazy Wine. Available at Costco, Kroger, and these other fine retailers.
We know you love jazz music, so let's try some jazz music with a little R&B flavor. What about some jazz music with a little trap flavor? Jazz and Caribbean. Hey, we mix it up. So, online, look for Grandpa Crunk and enjoy the great jazz music. Grandpa Crunk. Jazz music.
Peace. I'm your brother Crunk. I have a new podcast called Snatched. Sorry.
You're about to get snatched.
It's the best of my YouTube channel from TV.
You're listening to the Snatched podcast.
In audio mastered format.
Snatch and run!
On Blueberry, Android, the Edgy Podcast, Stitcher, Digital Podcast, and Speaker.
Ever experienced what snatching is like?
Well, fortunately enough, the Small Business Administration has really kicked up their game. I am just amazed at how they've intervened in this state of crisis. I was on a webinar on Thursday, and I understand you guys were all given the same information about the emergency disaster relief fund and the lending and such. Those loans to SBA are going to be at 0%. You know, unfortunately, there's no way we at the bank can compete with 0%.
Right.
We at Dollar Bank
percentage was around 3 to 5%, right? Is what they. But you say it's going to probably drop down, it's going to drop down to 0. And some of those loans, from what I understand, will be converted into grants. Was I hearing that right?
Well, I was told specifically these are not grants or free money, but they are considering 0% on the loan. So you're basically just borrowing free money. You have to pay it back. There's not going to be any free money, but there's no cost for the money.
Right.
So you're basically just paying back the principal amount that you're borrowing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blair, we have some other questions here.
Yeah, there's tons. This is
so
okay.
Great. Oh, we got to get to some of these really quick then. So
Dollar Bank FDIC insured? Does being a mutually owned bank affect protection in any way?
Oh, we're still FDIC insured. Absolutely. The federal deposit insurance, that is still covered on every single account up to $250,000 per tax ID, Social Security number, based on the titleship of the accounts. But yeah, we are absolutely Federal Reserve. We totally are FDIC compliant. Absolutely.
Okay. Question from LG-LS777 asks,
what did it say?
Since anonymous, I guess. Since the beginning of the quarantine, I've had 10 event cancellations. My firm provides entertainment services for special events. How will the recent cancellations impact my ability to obtain a line of credit?
Good question.
Well, yeah, that is a great question. And from what I understand, this is an ideal situation for the SBA 0% loan opportunity.
So check that out there, LS777.
Most definitely.
All right.
I would also say, too, look at your business insurance documents and find out what may constitute a loss. You may be able to submit a claim there.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Nicole asks, she says, Dollar Bank in Pittsburgh has a huge community development initiative. Will the Virginia branches follow suit by the way of being involved in the community and aligned with CDC in the area?
Absolutely. We take that very seriously. I don't know if any of you are familiar with James Hinton. He's been an icon in the Hampton Roads market for many, many years as far as community reinvestment. He is handling multiple programs right now for the community involvement and giving back to the community. We participate in many, many, many local nonprofits. Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as a piggyback to that, there are several nonprofit executives, founders that are attending. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 that are on here. 5.
Well, they definitely need to get in touch with Mr. Hinton. We've got so many great things coming down the pipe for the nonprofits in our communities. We've been able to really tackle the nonprofits in our area. Fortunately, James and I worked together with the nonprofits at a previous bank life. So we know all about the importance of giving back and helping our nonprofits. So if they haven't had the opportunity to meet with James, I'm happy to send out his contact information.
Sweet. So we have
James is how we got to Robin. So
yeah, that's Robin Day. So
yeah,
we'll keep hitting you, Robin. Got all the questions. So appreciate all the 23 attendees we have here on our Zoom. There may be more through our Facebook platform, but thank you all for taking time to watch us today. We got a few more questions we want to get through on our time here. Kyrie Sullivan asks, is it possible to get a convertible note from Dollar Bank? And what is a convertible note? Because I have no clue.
I am not familiar with a convertible note either. Can he elaborate a little bit on that description?
I hope so. Maybe we can get maybe
I've heard of the term, but I'm not super familiar either.
Right. Blair, you want to pick up on another question you have for Robin?
Yeah, this says which local initiatives does Dollar Bank currently support? Kind of related to the prior question, but maybe you can talk a little bit about the Mothers and Mortgages Initiative. Can you share that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. We are, of course, this has been going on for over 100 years in our other states, which Pennsylvania and then, of course, Ohio. But the mortgage, in fact, we've had to expand it here in Hampton Roads because it goes much broader than just mothers. It's now mortgages for mothers, millennials, and anybody, even our single fathers or married couples. But what that is the bank wants to break the rent cycle for folks and help people that truly want home ownership achieve those goals. So we have a savings account. It's a 3-to-1 account, and they come in, they get some counseling from James on how to review your credit report, find out what might be reporting negatively, also some savings tips, pay yourself kind of thing. But what the bank does, the bank will match the first 90 days. It's a savings account that you open up, and it gives you 90 days to restore credit, build a savings. But the glory is the bank is going to meet you dollar for dollar. Whatever you save that first 90 days, up to $3,000, the bank will match. Not only will the bank match that, but the bank is going to also connect you with one of our mortgage representatives. And I can't tell you the amount of success stories that we've had. We are actually launching an on-site workshop this May, and forgive me for not knowing the exact day, but I'm happy to share that with you at a later, as soon as I obtain that information. But it's a workshop where everybody comes together. We have it over at ODU in Norfolk, and we teach people about home ownership and how we can help you achieve that goal.
Sweet. Could you elaborate a little bit on your corporate treasury management?
Corporate treasury management, I'm elated to say we have recruited probably about 7 months ago a gentleman from Wells Fargo. Okay. And he is a walking book of treasury. I mean, this gentleman is so phenomenal. He knows any and everything. He's also helped Dollar Bank implement newer, faster, more efficient treasury products. So we're super excited to have him. Christian Strange is his name. I know that sounds a little strange, but strange as in strange.
That's a good one.
He's strangely brilliant in treasury. So I typically take him with me on my business calls, especially when we're doing the financial checkups, because we want people to work smarter and not harder as far as their business is concerned. And we've got all the bells and whistles to help put that in progress for the business online banking.
Well, I really don't blame him for leaving the other banking institution. I'll say that.
Right on.
Because I might become Dollar Bank too pretty soon. I can't get a $5 loan from that.
Free gifts. I like the gifts. I do like the gifts.
So as far as ATMs, how's that work with fees and so on and so forth, since I don't really see too many dollar banks in my neighborhood?
Right. Well, fortunately, we've got the logo, the I can't remember the exact name, but we have as long as you are at a bank, it does not have to be a dollar bank. They waive all the ATM fees.
Oh, sweet. Okay. That's a great advantage.
Now, the standalone ATM machines and the convenience stores, those have what we call terminal fees.
Right.
And unfortunately, those fees are not waived. But if you're going to a Wells Fargo or a Union Bank or now a Truist Bank to get cash out, the bank does waive those fees.
Mm-hmm. Me and Blair were just talking about pancakes and things and their convenience fees inside the restaurant.
Oh, it's crazy. They're piling fees on top of fees. It's really frightful and sad.
Yes, they want you to bring that cash in. So I already know if I go to pancake things, I'm gonna make sure I got some money, some fiat currency in my wallet.
That's right.
Another question for you here. It says, can you participate in the mortgage program if you're already a homeowner? This person needs to move, Tanya, into a ranch home for a disabled son as we're in a 2-story townhouse.
The mortgage program is for first-time home buyers. But we do have other programs. Our mortgage department is phenomenal, and we've got many, many, many programs. So please definitely let me send you somebody from our mortgage bank department and get some additional information regarding that.
All right. Iris has a question. Iris jumped on a little late, but we won't hold that against you, Iris. But and I think your question may pertain to something that we sort of touched on a little earlier, but I'll just go ahead and read it off anyway. Can you guys speak on resources available for businesses who have to lay off or decrease employee hours in order to manage cash flow during this crisis? And I know we talked a little bit about SBA loans and such, so that may be where your answer would probably be in the form of, right? Right.
Most definitely. That would be my recommendation. Just because their programs are going to be so much more cheaper. You can't beat 0%.
Hey, not with a bat. You sure can't beat it. All right.
Yeah. But because I noticed that one of the criteria for the SBA program is that you can't be able to access capital otherwise.
Oh,
did you read that?
Strings to that, huh?
It pretty much said this program, it excludes you if you can get money. I mean, it wants to make sure that those that really can't get capital elsewhere can get it.
This sounds
let's assume. I'm just going to throw this out there. Let's assume Iris can't.
Blair,
yeah.
Right. My interpretation was that there are certain industries that are actually seeing an emergency crisis. Mm-hmm. Those particular industries are going to be the top dog for small business for this particular program. There are other programs that maybe these clients that aren't front line affected by the crisis that can also qualify for some discounted loans based on their clientele. So my interpretation was based on the industry, our food industry, our restaurant industry, our entertaining industry, any industry that is affected by the limit of 10 folks or having to shut down hours or entertainment, weddings, graduations for that matter. Any of those type of industries, from what I understand and the way I perceived it, we're going to automatically qualify for these 0% loans to be able to stay afloat until we get through this crisis.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right. So we talked a lot about dollar banks initiatives and, good information thus far. Let's hear a little bit about you and how you got to your position. Let's switch gears a little bit and just see if we can focus on Robin for a second. Just tell us, how did you get to be in the position that you're in today? And what route did you take?
Sure. Well, I got into banking back in 1990. I was in retail management for years prior to my family growing. After I had my first son, I got into banking because of the banker's hours. Back then in 1990, the banks closed at 2:00. So it was perfect.
Wow.
I was gone for a very short time and I was able to stay with my family. But as my family grew, I kind of scattered the...
Oh.
Yeah.
That was me. I'm hungry.
I couldn't mute him. Sorry.
Yeah, where's the food? Where's the food?
It sure ain't on the shelves in the grocery store. I can tell you that right now.
You got that right. Oh my goodness. But as my family grew, I also grew the corporate ladder, and I just, became very passionate about helping customers. I worked on the retail side of banking. I started out as a teller in banking. I managed several offices. I ended up training and coaching and developing women, and particularly through
nice.
Through the corporate world. And I still do a lot of motivation speeches and such. I go to the shelters and help, some of these domestic affected women, and even some of these young moms that, getting them out of the restaurants and the hourly wages of cashiering and such, and put them on a career path that they've dreamed of as well. So, years later, I got into business development. I was recruited from SunTrust and went on to Bank of Hampton Roads, coached, mentored, and developed a phenomenal team of women there as well. And Dollar Bank knocked on my door a couple of years ago and made me an offer I couldn't refuse. I was so enthralled and so impressed with the history of the bank that I couldn't wait to get on board. So here I am.
Sweet. That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do have one more question. Yeah. So, because I had to step away for a second, you may have answered this pertinent to your small business initiative. Could it be a fit for somebody that is in a crisis that maybe can't access the SBA piece?
Absolutely. I am willing, and that's also another one of my specialties. I will look at anybody's balance sheet or personal financial statement to see what and how they should proceed. I don't always win the business. If I feel like they might be a better fit through SBA, or maybe even one of our partners, Joey Barnes, is a good resource for me as well at Virginia Community Capital. And, we toss folks back and forth based on their needs. So, if I can win the business, that's great. But at the end of the day, I want to do what I feel is best for you and your business. If I win, that's great. If not, maybe we'll meet down the road. But I'm willing to check anybody's financials out and give them some great options.
And in your role, will you evaluate those balance sheets and make recommendations on an ongoing basis to help prepare these business owners to access capital? Because one thing I didn't point out about the survey is that every single one of the respondents would like to access capital this year.
Sure.
And I know that having that banking relationship is a huge part of, what can make that happen.
Absolutely. I am able and willing to meet with anybody that wants that financial review to see what options we have available for them. So if everyone's got my contact information, please reach out to me. We can meet individually and review and see. I can give you some tips on some safe banking, some loan opportunities, capital opportunities. Absolutely. I'm happy to entertain that.
Okay. Do you have a LinkedIn, any of your social media that you can plug while we're up here now? That you can add?
Sure.
Oh, move the phone. See, you done messed up.
I am Robin Gregory. Ruh-roh.
Robin, put the phone back wherever you had it. There you go. There you back on. You back on. Okay.
There you go. It's back.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. How can I do that?
Blair, I think that in the chat you can add if there's links or something.
Yeah, type it right.
Sweet. Okay.
I'm gonna launch a second poll really quick.
Lean it forward. There we go. We got phone number. We got an email. Okay. I see Robin with Gregory. Gave your whole government name. Hold on, let me check your credit report. Your whole name.
Don't steal my identity.
Right. Screenshot. No, but yeah, we'll get some more of that information. We'll add it in.
Yeah, absolutely.
To our audience, so we can maybe link up on the LinkedIn deal or something. Is there any other social media links to plug to catch you?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I
Sweet.
Also have I think that's about it on the social media. No, I'm not on Tinder, but if there's any availability.
Just jokes, people. Just jokes. Next thing you know, Blair will kick me off of being the host.
Oh my gosh. You guys are funny.
I have one more set of questions for the attendees. If you can see the poll, if you would just respond here. I just want to make sure it's crystal clear. Oh man. What bankers do, and that, because there's the comfort thing too. You're talking about, I'm getting ready to start sharing my financials with somebody, I'm gonna accept their recommendation. Is that something that we would feel comfortable doing? I'm just curious to hear, now that we've kind of had the conversation,
right,
how folks are feeling. We've got 3 people that have said that they can't confidently say that they know what a banker does yet. Maybe it's just them. But it's 3. When it was 1, I was like, okay. But it's 3, so I'm curious. Please continue to respond as we're wrapping up here. Just let us know. And then if there are other questions, pop those into the chat. We've got like 7 minutes remaining.
Yeah. Right. And, it's really kind of disheartening that people that have had their business around for quite some time and they've not heard from their banker. So, and to speak on Navy Federal is a great bank. And like I said, I don't get into bashing banks, but they are not a business-friendly bank. So unfortunately, you're not going to get a call from a business banker at Navy Federal. I can't speak for other banks other than the ones that I've previously been employed with.
Right.
But, based on the type of business and, the needs of the client is going to be triggers for how frequently you hear from your banker. At Dollar Bank, we don't care what you do. You're going to hear from us on occasion and regularly, and I am happy to set up a one-on-one. I don't even want to see financials in the beginning. Ultimately, I'm here to establish and build and maintain a relationship. I'm sorry, I'm at the urgent care with my mom, and they're flagging me to come in, so I'm going to have to cut this short. But please, I am Robin Witt Gregory with Dollar Bank, Vice President of Business Banking. My cell number, I'm willing to give this out, and anybody that wants to chat or send me a text to set up an appointment, I'll be right there. Please reach out to me, 757-270-2583. So,
okay, best of luck.
Thank you so much. It was great. It was great chatting with you guys. Have a wonderful day. Stay well. Thank you.
You too. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
You bet.
And thank you all for tuning in. George, thank you so much for your co-moderation. You definitely removed the boring factor. And
I'm messing around with the charge.
Guys, this is a relationship we're looking to build, long term. So feel free to share your questions here. Of course, you can send them privately, email, however you want to do it. We will look to facilitate another conversation because Virginia Community Capital couldn't join us today. But we'll work on that for the future. Right. Again, thanks so much. And I miss you guys.
I don't know, Blair cut out, so it's just me right now, which is awesome. This is my show now. What's up to the 21 attendees? We appreciate you guys coming on. Everybody that joined this Zoom meeting. You guys, thank you. Erica said, great job. Maybe I didn't get fired, so It's a good thing. I hope you guys are staying safe. Stay prayed up. Get your groceries. Tell them to be easy with your eggs, because the lady, the cashier, almost cracked all my eggs today, and I was about to be hot because there ain't too many more eggs left up in the refrigerator over there. So just be careful, be calm, be patient with folks out there. Thank you, Blair, for putting this together somewhat. We ain't had Joey on, but I ain't gonna hold that against you. But next time we'll get Joey on, and we'll engage with more questions. So thank you guys. You guys help us do what we do because of the questions that you guys throw in to the mix. Because as you can see, this is all the questions I got written down. So thank you all for doing what you guys do. You guys help us to further the conversation. I mean, we're trying to go for an hour here, 11:30, 12:30, whatever the case may be. So
it's all good.
It's a lot to try to fill in. We got to feed babies at the same time. We got to change tires. We doing everything while we still trying to do the Zoom. So at the same time, thank you all for being a part of it. It can't happen without you guys. We're not going to do this for no audience. I mean, ain't nobody got time for that, to do a webinar and no audience. We need you folks to be engaged like you have been, and we can't thank you enough. A few more things that popped up here before we get off the next 2 minutes. The quality has just dropped. LOL, I'm here to stay. Let's see here. I need to kick it with you, George, about trucking. Anytime, Carl, reach out to me, my man. My business, trucking industry, is doing really well right now. I've scaled up in terms of trucking capacity. We're needing more truckers in our industry, and I'm not here to make this about me, but freight has picked up here. Kind of strange, freight has picked up here recently, but it's a good thing. Our industry has never been better right now. As long as warehouses still can continue to receive trailers and we can get the supplies out of the trailers and onto the shelves, you all will continue to be able to feed your families and be able to survive, because without trucks, America stops. Period, point blank. So thank you for all my fellow truckers out there, all those folks in law enforcement, all those people in the medical field and in daycare facilities. We thank you from the bottom of our heart. And that's not just coming from George Berry. I'm sure that's coming from the upper echelon and the top of the moot with the board of directors of Black Brand. We thank you all for what you do. So let's continue to support each other. Check on your elderly. I had one of our members, I'm not going to put her on blast, but from the attendees up here this morning just called to just check on me and just see how things is going, because we know times are, we're in uncertain times. We're in unprecedented times, period, point blank. So thank you all for what you said. Vicky said, George, are you doing power only loads? I'm open to it. We mostly haul containerized freight, which are imports and exports out of the Port of Virginia. Again, that's another facility that we cannot afford to see shut down, because freight cannot get in and we can't distribute it to the customers. That's what was happening in China. We don't want that to happen here. There would be more and more and more. This webinar is on the way. There will be many, many more. Okay, Blair, we heard you say many, many more. And indeed, so maybe her audio is cut out because she has one of those consumer cellular phones as well. Again, 1 minute left. I think, nope, we're out of time, folks. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe, be blessed, and stay black.
Miss you guys. See y'all soon. Take care. Thanks, George.
Bye. Thanks, Blair. Be blessed and stay black.
Hey, this is Seko, DJ Seko Varner, the producer of this podcast. So when I'm not producing podcasts, I'm actually DJing wedding receptions, corporate events, proms, other formals, and I would love to take care of your special event. So our company is Positive Vibes Incorporated, www.positivevibes.net. That's www.positivevibes.net. We've been performing for over 25 years, and we would love to bring our expertise and our fun to your special event. Positive Vibes Incorporated, www.positivevibes.net. Peace and prosperity.
Are you a 757 business owner? Do you desire to make new connections and grow your community involvement? Could you benefit from taking classes to sharpen your skills? Well, join Black Brand, Hampton Roads Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. Completing a membership application is simple. Just click onto our website at www.blackbrand.biz or download the app. We look forward to meeting and building with you soon. WHOV would like to thank Black Brand for its support of WHOV programming.
Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram, and then follow us on Twitter as well at BWS Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week. I have said and I will continue to say that the most important priority for the Black community is the Black community, not a particular political party.
Phenomenal. Hey, yo, when I say black, you say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.